oversight role over the executive. There is also no effective internal audit function at the council. There is one staff, an internal audit clerk, working at the unit. Assessment of the auditors revealed that she did not possess any qualification relevant to the position, and there was no adequate evidence of the effective function of internal audit. There is also no evidence of proper planning and documentation by audit, such as plans and programs to facilitate efficiency. Now, you say that they do not have subcommittees, but I'm not clear on this report, whether, is it that there were no committees at all, or there were a few?
Yes, you know, they had a council headed by the chairman, but you know the councillors, just like the other subcommittees, the finance establishment committee, educational committee, there was nothing like that. There was no evidence of that during the audit, and there was no, and then we don't see any evidence of the oversight role on management, because the councillors has that, even the audit report, or if there is anything in the council, the councillors has the responsibility to request and then discuss, and then the minutes are what will serve as a proof to the auditors that at least they are conducting an oversight on the management, but there was no of such evidence on the management. And then the internal auditor also is only one person, and then who is just an internal audit clerk. So these are, and then we haven't seen any qualification process for her to be even appointed as an internal audit clerk. So these were issues, and there is also no evidence of proper planning and documentary by audit, such as plan and program. So these were the issues, internal control weaknesses.
I had asked this for Bansakonko, but I'll ask again for Kerewan. Do you think that the councillors actually appreciate what their functions are? Because you said that you've noticed that there's no oversight of the council itself, but do you think they know and understand what their functions are as councillors?
I know still there still need to be, there is, if it's case by case, you go to some council, for example, Mansa Konko, for example, you have few, not all of them, but you will have few whom you know they will be very, very determined, and then at least you can put reliance on them, like Mansa Konko. We have one councillor there, the head of the finance committee. He is very, very, proactive, and then I know their vice chairman also, and then Basse also. By then you have a councillor there who was also very, very, hardworking, and then and then Janjambure, and then currently you have another councillor also at KMC. So gradually, by then they don't know, but with audit, now you can see they have been involved. They have been involved now. Yeah, they've been involved now.
Okay. Can we go to page 14 of the report?
Page 14?
Yes, of the management letter. And it's salary preparation without payment vouchers.
Yes, salary preparation without payment vouchers. Right? Just as it happened at Kuntau, for the water examiner of sample expenditure vouchers against the cash book revealed salary preparation without payment vouchers. Salaries are paid using the salary schedule only. Details are shown below. For them, because any payment must be supported with a payment voucher, because the payment voucher will ensure that controls mechanism as far as payments are concerned are observed. But these people, the attachment that should be attached to the payment vouchers to support the payment is what they will just use as a payment voucher. And then this has been flagged, and then they responded to say it is noted. However, the council is using a payroll software that has its own voucher and a signatory sheet attached on the voucher, which we post directly in the cash book under their various heads. For them, they said it's noted, but this is what they were doing. It's just that supporting document. That's what they are just using, and then posted in the.
So do you find that different councils have different payroll systems? Does each council has its own different payroll system, or is there like a unified system that all of them use?
I think this was a big challenge at the councils because each and every council were having their own system operating, so there is nothing like that common platform where they can, be using similar system also. Each and every council where some are doing it manually, some are having their own, payroll system that they are using. That was the case, and this was a big challenge until recently when I think IFMIS has been installed to all the councils. So.
Okay. On page 17 of the management letter, it's about unposted collections amounting to 318,734. It relates to sampled market tickets that could not be traced to individual cash books of the collectors. And there's also a second table that relates to revenue collections by sub-treasurers, which were received by the main cashier but have not been posted to the cash book. And I believe those are what have amounted to the $318,734. Is it usual for sub-treasurers to collect as well?
Yes. The following table relates to sample market tickets amounting to 318,734. Were issued to collector but could not be traced in their individual cash book. The tickets were given to you, they've collected, but they haven't recorded these things in the cash book. And then the two relates to revenue collected by sub-treasurers, which were receipted by the main cashier, but have not been posted to the cash book of the main cashier. Yeah, the sub-treasurer, these are the ones at not at the head office. For example, if it's Kerawan Area Council, you will have a sub-treasury at Farafenni and a sub-treasury at Bassi. Bara. Okay. Bara, these are the sub-treasury. The sub-treasurer, they have collected this money, but has not recorded into the sub-treasury main cash book. Individuals, the first one was the individual. They collected, they haven't recorded in their cash book. And then the second, the sub-treasurer also received this money, the table 2, and then has not recorded it in the cash book. There is a risk that the above tickets and receipts are not accounted for and may in effect result in understatement of revenue. And then they responded to say the tickets and receipts have been reviewed by the management and all the books have been detected and they are accounted and adjusted accordingly. The corrections are presented to your office for your review. So auditors are saying the evidence is not presented for our confirmation.
Okay. And just below that you have payments without signatories.
Yes.
And you say you note from the review of a sample of payment vouchers that payments amounting to 539,308 were raised but were neither signed by the officer making the payment nor the vote controller. And you've detailed the amounts, somewhere for cost of spare parts, cost of gas oil, cost of hiring tractors for 5 days. And then I think the biggest payment is an advance payment for Darussalam, Lower Badibu borehole. And your remarks are that only one voucher was attached. There is no documentation attached. There is no signature for officer making the payment and officer in charge of vote. How is it possible that the payments can be made and nobody signed for them?
Yes, this happens when you're supposed to pay. When you just call a collector or somebody just comes and then because there is money, collectors collect the money and then bring the money to the council. You just use the physical money and give it to the person without following the payment procedures. And then now you want to go back and say payment voucher. That's what caused most of these issues. Maybe I'm supposed to do something, you're supposed to pay me $15,000. You just count 15,000 and give it to me. Then maybe when auditors are coming, you say, oh, I gave 15,000 to Bucket and then you raise a payment voucher. Maybe you forgot to sign it. Or maybe I signed it but the other person is not around also or you forgot. That's what caused all these things. they will spend the money and then try to raise the payment voucher retrospectively. So even if you do that, the control has the control lapses has already been, that's what caused most of these things. If you look at their finding, their response, they are like the unsigned vouchers were an oversight. However, it is noted all the vouchers have been signed by the authorities, and management also ensure control checks will be instituted in place to make sure that payments will be authorized and approved. The auditors are saying these vouchers have not been submitted for our confirmation. Yeah. Because technically, you cannot even make any payment if the vouchers are not signed by all the authorized officers. So if you said it was an oversight, I mean, you have spent the money and then just try to raise the voucher after the payment has already been effected.
Okay. I believe the chairperson wants to say something.
Yes, Council, I believe this is a convenient point to stop for tea break for 30 minutes, and we can reconvene. Thank you. So we can rise.